Connect to your intention for this meditation, for this time in humanity, for yourself, and for all. And taking some deep breaths to enliven that intention. And I'm going to set an intention for the group, a group intention that as a humanity we may move forward in our evolution using this that is happening in the world today as an invitation for a global initiation. Initiation into love, deeper into love. So we begin. And connecting to the first initiation. This is when you begin to question, what is the meaning of life? Who am I? And connecting to that time in your life. Who am I? Why? Who am I really? Why am I really here? What's the purpose? What's the meaning of being here, of this life? Connecting to when you went through that. Maybe as a child, you'd look up in the stars and wonder, is this really all it's about? What my parents are fighting about? Maybe it was as a teenager. Maybe it was coming out of drugs or out of sexual addictions or any kind of addictions. Or maybe it was during your Saturn returns, late 20s, early 30s. Just connecting to the you of then. It didn't have words for it. It wasn't a conscious initiation, but there was a spark that was lit inside of you. And maybe it was a time of crisis. Maybe somebody died. Maybe there was a car accident. Maybe there was a miscarriage, a divorce, some crisis in your personal life. And looking back at it now, from where you are now, at the blessing that was, because everybody who's joined this meditation now has clearly passed their first initiation. Maybe at the time it didn't feel like it, didn't look like it. Connecting to that truth and how that feels in your body now. And from that place of hindsight, of being able to see it and feel it clearly, open up your heart, your personal heart, having compassion for the humanity that is being invited to pass through that now. A global crisis, a health crisis, an economic crisis, a political crisis, all at once. An environmental crisis, all at once. And however that may be hitting home in their personal lives, compassion, deep compassion. Just like the masters, hierarchy, Shambhala, looks at us with compassion because they know, because they've walked a few steps further. We can do the same. So, those loved ones around you, friends, family, neighbors, coworkers, who may be in despair or in crisis right now, can you hold enough love for them too? Maybe your own children, your own parents, grandparents. Last few moments for this stage. Engaging the personal heart, vibrating compassion and love. And moving forward in time from that you of then, child, teenager, Saturn's returns, or very recently, moving forward to when that became not only your own search for who am I and what is the meaning of this life, what is the purpose, but that there was a spark, another spark, that this is for the benefit of others as well. Maybe not for humanity, maybe it wasn't global, and it isn't still, and that's okay. But so that others can benefit too. Second initiation. It's not just so that I can be a better mother, father, husband, wife, daughter, worker, human being, but so that others can benefit, my friends, my family, maybe my community, maybe humanity as a whole. And connecting to that, maybe there was a moment in time again, or maybe it's been something that's unraveled slowly. And this is where you started to connect with soul in a deeper way, because soul is in service. It is never about the individual, personal. Allowing your heart to expand even further with that love, not just for me, my survival, my development, my healing, but for others too. And feeling that in your body, what happens in your body when you connect to those moments in your life. The amount of life that starts to vibrate through these spaces that begin to open, what you're willing to face and do. Because it's no longer just about you. Just another minute for this stage. Now we're going to go deeper into the second initiation because this is where most of those who are joining, most of you, are at. So beginning to see now very clearly inside you, yet yes, some of it is for the benefit of all, truly that love that can be go unnoticed and invisible and uncredited and unrewarded or unreciprocated. And some of it is ego. Some of it is to feed power, imbalances in you, wounds around being needing to be loved or be important, be needed, be special. It's part of the key to second degree initiation. To move through it is shadow work. So going into your own shadow. What is sitting there that is obstructing the purity of love to shine through? Finding it, naming it loud enough to hear yourself, crystallizing it, bringing it out into the light. This is actually moving from fear, it's moving from survival, it's moving from strategy. Another minute to name it. Now going behind it. What's the fear behind it? This is always going to be the face off. It's going to be fear facing love. This is the trade off. What's the fear? Going as deep, maybe there's layers of fear, going as deep into the fear as you can, as will reveal itself. And holding it, feeling that trembling, feeling that, yeah, it may be that I'll not have any money. I won't know how to make ends meet. I won't be able to feed my children. I won't be loved. I won't have shelter. Whatever the fear is. Feeling it. You've already resourced and expanded in your own heart. Now allow yourself to feel that fear and allow it to be held in that container of love. This is the trade off, the personal, fear based personality versus the soul, which is love. All soul rays are expressions of love, without exception. And you have a fork on the road, you have a decision, you have a choice right now. What do you choose? Allowing soul to descend beyond the heart, below the heart in the chakra system. Infusing personal power, personal desires, and the fear of survival in the base. What happens? Can it descend? Can love, soul love, drop all the way down to your base? And this is the practice of the second degree initiates, to hold on to that love and to choose soul over fear-based personality, over fear. But to feel it. It's not to bypass it, it's to feel it and to meet it with love. Last minute for this stage. What does that feel like in your body? When the soul descends as far down as your base and meets that undercurrent of fear, deepest level of survival fear. And if your body wants to move, everyone's muted. If you need to make any sounds, any expressions, allow it. If not, just observe, stay connected at the body level. The soul must anchor at the body level. One more minute. And taking a deep breath and letting that rest. Now connecting to what at the personal level you hold most dearest. What is it that is the most precious to you at the personal level? Is it your job, your family, your relationship, your safety? Name it. Give it form by giving it sound, material into the material plane. One more minute for this stage. Now we're going to test, is it true? Is it true that I can invite soul to stay? So this is one of the tests you face in the second degree initiation. Are you willing to surrender that which you hold the dearest, most precious for your personality, your personal realm, over to your soul? Am I willing to surrender, offer it up to the altar of love that my soul is? That if it's meant to stay, it'll stay, and if it's meant to go, it'll go, and if it's meant to go the way I think it want or wish it would, then it will, and if it's not, it's not, and it doesn't matter because I'm surrendering to love, to my soul. And feel it. Feel if there's resistance. Feel if there's fear or anger or hell no or whatever, grief, whatever comes with it, or perhaps relief, elation, whatever comes with it. Feel. No bypassing. Feel deeply. And can I take this step and offer and still feel, but let go? This is what we're being faced with as a humanity. Our plans, our goals, our all kinds of what we thought was going to happen or expected to happen. Can we let it go? And if you need to sound, if there are emotions, you need to move, just whatever needs to happen. This is where we evoke life. For whatever we can't do on our own, we can ask for help. This is the guidance of hierarchy. They hope we ask, but we have to ask. So evoking life force from your base, from the center of the earth to move up and into your base. To move whatever you cannot move for yourself. To move through the fear, the stagnation, the grief, the clinging, the attachment, that I need to control, I need to know. And the way it really works for me is if I spiral, if I move, maybe sitting, maybe standing, whatever works for you. Inhaling it up from the core of the earth, trusting that life will support what is meant to live, what is meant to thrive and flower. Trusting and surrendering to that. Inviting life to support you. Life force energy from the core of the earth. The same thing that lets the rivers flow and the flowers bloom now that spring is coming. And if it's true, the dolphins in the canals of Venice to return, trusting in life and in the wisdom of life as it flows through the core of the earth into your own body, because you are made of it, you are breathed of it. Can I trust and surrender that which I hold dearest and most precious to my soul? To love. Last minute for this stage. And if you're giving your consent, allowing the life force energy to move through your base, move through your body, allow it to move. You trust it and allow it to move your body. That's part of the surrender. Now shifting to the crown, the portal of the soul connection, the top of the head, connecting to your essence as a soul, to what you hold most sacred as as a soul. And if it's not very clear, then maybe what is the quality of love that you hold most sacred, or that you would stand for no matter what? Naming it and letting that vibrate through the world. This stands for love. All soul expression is love. I remember myself as a soul. I know myself as a soul. That which you hold most sacred in service to others, not just yourself, for the benefit of all. Feel it, feel what happens in your body. And if it's a little murky, then give your consent. Allow life force energy to move through the core of the sun, down into the crown. Evoke. Give your consent for your soul shine, for that lightning, the rays of dark love to come through down from the sun, electrifying. Because if this is a global initiation that can be summed up between fear and love, if that's the fork on the road, this is the answer. Soul. So asking for support, giving your consent. And maybe messages come. Maybe ecstatic, orgasmic feelings come. Maybe connection to your purpose comes. Your piece of the puzzle why you incarnated in this life. Everybody who is incarnated in this moment in time and form, in human form, has done so because they are being tested how much they can hold love. They have agreed to that. Another minute. And without letting go of that connection, see yourself in your everyday life, moving from that space as totally as you can, holding that knowing and vibrating it and making decisions from it. Living from it, making love from it, taking out the garbage from it, changing your kids' diapers, planting your garden, whatever it is you're doing. From this place. Now we're going to move towards third degree initiation. Taking that which you hold most sacred, you as a soul, that which you stand for, that which you came to incarnate and live and share. whether it's truth, freedom, love, the environment, whatever it is, whatever you named. Can you offer it? Can you surrender it to spirit? Your soul's will. Are you, as a soul, willing to surrender and trust life itself? Are you willing to be stripped of it if that's what's needed? Guided in a totally opposite, different direction if that's what's needed. Connecting to the center of the heart, through which spirit moves through from the galactic center, from the black hole. Are you willing to be pierced as a soul, to have this whole black hole at your center, at your core? If yes, evoking, giving your consent and connecting to the dark light that moves through the center of the galaxy, the galactic center, through your heart, offering up your soul will and surrendering fully. I am nobody, I am nothing. Until there's no more I. And when there is no more personal will and no more soul will, what can you hear? What is life? Whispering or yelling, vibrating? What is life's will? And if that took form, what would it look like? What would it feel like? What would it sound like? Through this expression of life, this form that you are. And can you feel yourself, see yourself move through your life from this place, from this dark love, from life itself, being guided and moved from life itself, and letting that infuse the love that you are, and the personality that supports that love. And not only can you move through your life, but can others drink from it? Can you be a fountain? Maybe it's just radiating, just the way you walk in a room or the way you cook a meal. Maybe it's shouting it from the rooftops. Doesn't have to look any particular way. But what humanity needs is for us to vibrate this life from its core, beyond personal and even soul will. Be guided by it and share it. so that it can anchor on the planet. And as Bruce Lyon has put it, and when you do, the seas will part, the mountains will move to make way and to support you. Radiating this out to your loved ones, again, your neighbors, work colleagues, the community, Shambhala community, any other community you're a member of, connected to. Let this be the virus that spreads. And connecting again to your original intention for yourself in the beginning of this practice. Letting that go for now. The intention, not life, not love, not that. And this concludes the guided part. The space is open for any sharings. You can unmute yourself and then mute yourself back after you've shared.
This has been tremendous, Taki'h. Um, mentioned to 2025, and there is a process going on which is called externalization. And we don't clearly know if it's the master coming back or some members of humanity reaching the ridges of the hierarchy. But the precision and the way you led this meditation is uh, thank you. On the third parts of the third initiation, when you say maybe it takes form or something, I saw kind of black bowl or something that was really heavy and making its way down the crust or down the land. And I had these three words like anchor, descend. I don't remember the third. And it was really powerful at this moment, kind of rushes of electricity. Thank you. It's really powerful.
I have unmuted myself. Do you hear me? Hi, I'm a guy. I'm participating for the first time today. It was really deep. Thank you. And what was most touching and amazing for me to feel the amount of tension that is caused by my attachment to my purpose, to my soul purpose, to service, and to really let it allow myself to let it go into the dark womb of nothing. And it actually, like in the first moment, it felt so scary, and like everything in myself cried, no, I can't, it's my purpose. But then I just did, and it felt so good. And what is really amazing, I had this big pain in my third chakra the last 3 days, because I'm in 1 month, I'm in Berlin. In 1 month, I'm starting, I'm giving, I have birthed 7 months initiation program for women. And I'm a little scared that it's not going to start. And after this meditation, I feel free, it's gone. It's like there's no tension anymore. And wow, it was really amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
I would like to comment on that. That no, it's my purpose. I can't. That is, which is the most common reaction. And I'm told by John that it's in the teachings that most people reach this stage when they've exhausted their soul purpose. It's like you've gotta like burn yourself out, is the way he puts it. And sometimes that happens quickly and sometimes it doesn't, but like that's kind of the stage where it's like, okay, I give I give up. I give up, but I surrender. But that's not the only way. And so I just want to say that that's not the way it happened for me. And it can happen through most of the time. That's how it happens, or maybe that's how it has happened. But these are different times, maybe. I don't know. I have no empirical data on this. But I know it can also happen through just knowing that, understanding that whatever you might be holding on to, and when you meet your maker, when you meet life itself, when you meet the one, when you are confronted or faced with that, there is no other option than to surrender, because that's what's guiding everything. And that your little piece of the pie is, yeah, not that it's not important, but it's being held within something greater, and to surrender to that, and to trust whatever that guides, even if it means it's something going to be totally different than what you thought, or how you're doing it, or whatever it might imply. So yeah, just wanted to name that there's the way it has been, and maybe that's the way it will be for many of you. And then there's also a different way, which is I know that I can be much more of service. I know that I can be love. I know that all these things can be more true if I actually let go and if I surrender. Not from like strategically, like, oh yeah, okay. No, but like a total, truly, fully, but that it doesn't have to come through burnout at the soul level. But again, anybody else would like to share anything? Okay, Jeff, who doesn't have mic or camera, typed in a flaming sword. It's difficult to put into words. A lifetime of feeling unworthy to wield power. Incredible. Thank you. Sounds like a dark masculine.
Like to share.
Yes.
Um, just having here a very intense moment, and I just felt like I need to unmute myself. Hi everyone. Just my whole being is wobbling. I'm feeling something like I feel the current so strong, but at the same time I feel so much tension around my solar plexus. And it's like almost sophisticating. I'm really feeling like I feel the current coming from the back of my heart. Something just in my womb as well. It's such a tension that I'm feeling. It's really physical. Just feeling like the current is opening different centers in my body. It feels very vulnerable and scary and painful.
So one of the things that happens when we give our consent is that it does do what we can't do, or what we haven't been able to do fully, or it brings up things that we can't reach, or we don't know of, even, you know, that are in the shadow or the dark or black, in the blind spot. And that can feel painful and can feel scary. And of course, if there's resistance or contraction or holding on to, or, you know, I don't know how this is going to be or whatever, as opposed to surrendering, that can ease it. That this, whatever is moving, it's for my benefit, and it's clearing. And I can trust that, and I can surrender to that. And then it's just energy that's moving, and pain can feel just like ecstasy. It doesn't. So of course, I'm not trying to bypass here that if you are feeling whatever emotions are there, allow them, but to know that that is the purification process when you give your consent. And you surrender, relax into it, then it just takes over, and it can easily turn into an ecstatic current.
Thank you for witnessing me. I feel like being asked to embody dark love right now. And my body is still resisting that. Thank you.
Thank you. I know we're over time. Is anybody else would like to share anything? If anybody needs to go, it's understandable. But I'd like to give it space if there is anybody who would like to bring something out.
Hi everybody, I'm Hannah. It was also my first time today joining the meditation, and I think I really want to express my gratitude. Today I got a lot of answers, and I also enjoyed witnessing the fights happening within me, between the part wanting to say yes and the fear holding on. That was intense. And your words, I really resonated with Agaya, and I really resonated with the words you spoke afterwards, and it gave me a lot of power. And I also unmuted myself because I really just wanted to send Raisha, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, but I just wanted to send you some love, and to all of you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. There's somebody with a real bananas, big wide smile the whole time, but she's not speaking. But if she wants to, she can. Or at least hear us. Let us hear you laughing.
Thank you for the invitation. During the meditation, let me see what wants to come out. I'm really fucking excited that there's nothing to do. There's nothing to be. It's like, wow. My plant just fell over out of nowhere while I was sitting in meditation. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so fucking excited to clean that up and just enjoy the moment and enjoy the abundance of all that dirt on my floor, and just, I don't know, I'm gonna cook myself a nice meal. It's so beautiful I was feeling some pressure in the past few days of having to somehow show up for the world or the collective or whatever. It's like, no, no, fuck it. I'm just gonna respond in the moment and be with whatever arises, and it's so good. Yeah. Let me see if there's anything else. I think that's all, but it's just so intense that we're being asked to surrender on every single aspect of our being. And wow, I see it as this white space
that we're in, and there's no up and there's no down and there's no walls and no floor. We're just walking around, but there's all these attachments that we're holding on to. As soon as we let go of those fucking attachments and let the floodgates open, wow. Yeah. Let the mystery take you. Like, just let it take you. Surrender to it. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna count to 3 in case anyone wants to jump in. Going once. Going twice. 3. Okay. That was 3. So that concludes our meditation for this Sunday. Thank you all for joining and being a part of it, and also the feedback and all your sharings, whether they come live now or typed or later on in some message. It's incredibly invaluable for all of us. I know this is something we can't do alone. Impossible. The whole point is that we need to do it in community, we need to do it as group, and we need to ultimately do it as a humanity. That's the point. Thank you.